Hello everybody, it is Shard GVLP here back again with another video on this channel. So today's video is actually going to be a suggestions for Greenville video. So basically like what I think Greenville should do and what Greenville should add and stuff like that. I'm going to try and be as realistic as possible with my suggestions in this video and like things that Greenville could actually probably do. So yeah, this video is mainly directed towards like developers or even Hunter himself. But yeah, so anyways, let's get into the video here. So the first thing, or the first suggestion that I actually have is the ability to mute dealership music. So actually, before I pull my car out here, I'm going to show you guys what I mean. So in the newest update, pretty much, they actually added dealership music, which I'll actually show you guys here. So when you actually go up to buy a car, it plays music. Now, it's really good that they added this, but the thing is that since, like, us YouTubers already have music playing in the background, when the dealership music plays, you either have to choose to mute your game, or you literally have to, like, all your audio kind of just overlaps like it is now, and it kind of sounds a bit bad. So that's why I would enjoy having, like, a option where you can kind of mute the dealership music to overall just, like, avoid your audio like overlapping and just sounding very bad. But yeah, so that's my first suggestion. So the second suggestion that I actually have is probably a bit of a controversial one, but I would personally enjoy this. So this suggestion is giving free cam to everybody. Now, I know that currently free cam is only available to developers and content creators, except I honestly do think it would be very good if it was available for everybody. Now the reason why is because, you know, it would just, like, especially for the, like, smaller content creators out there, it would just make it a lot easier for us overall to, like, make thumbnails and stuff like that, and overall get some cool pictures and stuff like that. I don't really see why everyone can't have it, just because of the fact that, like, Southwest also has it available to everybody, and nothing really bad happens out of it from my knowledge. But yeah, I don't know if it's, like in a testing phase or something like that right now, and that's why only content creators are getting it, or something like that. I honestly don't really know. But, yeah, I would definitely quite enjoy, like, everybody having the ability to use free cam. It would just be a lot more easier for everybody. So the next suggestion I have is actually more detailed headlights and tail lights. So the thing about this is that, for example, let me pull out my Koenigsegg. So some cars actually do have 3D headlights and tail lights already. So for example, with my Koenigsegg here, it does have 3D headlights and tail lights already. But the thing is that with some other cars, so for example with my Scirocco here, the headlights and tail lights are actually 2D. Now, I don't exactly know why some of the cars have, like, 3D headlights and tail lights, but then some others have 2D. I guess it's just to, like, I guess reduce their workload and stuff like that. But honestly, like, I think if every single car had 3D headlights and tail lights, it would be a lot more better in my opinion. Instead of only some cars having it and other cars not having it, because it's kind of just, like, weird, and, like, in my opinion, how some cars do have it and other cars don't. But, I mean, obviously, it's up to the devs. Like, if it's something to do with, like, it being hard to do or something like that, then that's totally fine. But, yeah. It could also have to do with something with lag on why they don't, like, why all cars don't have 3D headlights and tail lights. If that is the case, then, yeah, just keep it how it is. But, honestly, if you guys could, like, 3D headlights and tail lights for pretty much every single car in the game would be absolutely amazing. And I feel like the car models would pretty much be perfect after that, honestly, because that would just make them so much more detailed, and yeah. Alright guys, so the next suggestion I actually have here is interactive jobs. So I know this gets I know that this gets suggested to Greenville, like, developers and stuff like that quite a lot, but I honestly think it would be an amazing thing to add to the game, because currently, if I'm going to be honest, there's nothing really that interactive in the game right now when it comes to jobs. I mean, yeah, you can get yourself a burger, but I mean, yeah, you can get yourself some chips and stuff like that, but that's pretty much it. Like, I would enjoy, like, a really, like, interactive system. Like, it doesn't even have to be, like, I don't know, like, a system where you would actually have to make the food would be great, but even just a system where you could actually, like, give people, like, food via, like, a GUI or something like that would be absolutely amazing in my opinion. And also a system where they actually have to pay you, so, like, whatever amount you put into the ATM thingy here, they would actually have to pay, there would be some way how you would actually have to pay that back. Or, like, when they take the drink or the food or whatever, they would actually have to, like, click a button to pay you the money back, and it would actually go into your account up here. I think that would be really, really sick. Pretty much like the system that Southwest Florida has. would be really, really good in my opinion, and it would overall just make working in jobs like a lot more worth it, and overall just a lot more fun in my opinion. Alright guys, so the next suggestion I have is actually a bit of a different one. I think this has been suggested before, but it's not really like as much of a popular suggestion, I guess you could say, as some other suggestions that Greenville gets. So these are actually house fires. So the reason why I'm suggesting house fires is because of the fact that, like, with the fire department and stuff, there's not a whole lot to do in that job, just because of the fact that there's no fires or anything in Greenville, or in this game at least. So the fire department literally has to, like, make up random fires. And in my opinion, it would just be a lot better if they actually had a system where houses could burn on fire, and like the firemen have to like come over in their fire trucks and like use their hose to, you know, take out the fire and stuff like that. Like, just like a really nice house fire system. Now I do think the house fire system should only be available to like homes that aren't already claimed, because if you had a house that's already claimed and it just randomly burned on fire out of nowhere, don't think that would be very good for the player as well. But if it was for like houses that weren't claimed, and those houses could just like randomly burn on fire at any time, and the firefighters would have to come over and like, I guess, like take the fire out, that would be really cool in my opinion. So yeah, and yeah, honestly, I think they should really do that, since right now firefighters don't really have a lot of jobs to do in this game. So I feel like that would give them actually a reason to be a firefighter in this game, instead of just kind of pretending that there's fires and stuff like that. And yeah, now the next suggestion I have is like a system where, like, basically kind of like a car crash system in a way. Like, I'm not talking like if you crash your car and then you can see dents on your car and stuff like that. I understand that would be extremely hard to make, except I'm talking like a system like emergency responsibility county, where you kind of like hit your car on a pole, for example, and there's like a damage bar or something, and eventually your car starts smoking up and then it burns on fire and you actually won't be able to drive it anymore. I feel like a system like that would be absolutely great in a game like Greenville, because of the fact, I don't know, I just feel like it would make things a lot more like realistic and a lot more fun to RP as well, instead of like having to pretend that your car broke down. Like, your car would actually break down. And it would also give, like, when DOT finally comes out, it will give them, like, more of a reason to actually do their job. And same with the fire department as well. So the next suggestion I have is actually, like, being able to pay for your homes, or actually having to buy your homes. So for those of you who don't know, in Greenville, the way how you claim your houses is literally by going up to the mailbox, standing on it, and then boom, you own the house. No money goes out of your account or anything like that. It literally just, like, you can literally get houses for free in this game. But in my opinion, I actually think they should add a system where you have to buy houses. It would just be a lot more realistic in my opinion, and honestly, I do like the fact that, like, if they had a system where you had to pay for your houses, that would be really cool in my opinion, because it would make things a lot more realistic. And, like, for example, let's say that you ran out of money, then you would have to leave your house forever, and yeah, you would have to try and save up more money until you can actually get your house back. And I don't know, it would just be really fun for RPs, and overall would make things a lot more realistic overall. I know that Southwest also has a, like, system now where you actually have to purchase your houses, so kind of like that in a way. Like, I do really enjoy that system, and I do think Greenville should implement something like that into their game too, as I do think it would make it just a lot more better, and especially better for role-playing and stuff like that. But yeah, so the next suggestion I have is first-person drive. Now, if you guys didn't see my how to use first-person drive in Greenville video, that video basically showed a glitch where you could kind of use first-person drive in in Greenville, but you could only do it if you had another friend in your game, and it had to be a private server that you owned. If you guys haven't already, by the way, make sure to check that video out. It was actually really, really good. But yeah, that's basically the closest you can actually get to first-person drive in Greenville at the moment. But I hope that Greenville can actually add, like, a first-person drive feature in Greenville without having to do any glitches and stuff like that. I do think the devs are actually planning on it, which is really, really good. But if they aren't already, I definitely honestly recommend adding something like that into the game, as it would honestly make driving so much more fun. Like, imagine just being like your convertible car and just driving in first person through the highway. Like, that would be so sick in my opinion, and it would be so fun. And like, Greenville would, like, there's not a lot of games on Roblox currently that have first person drive available. The only games that really do are games that have like free models and stuff like that. So if Greenville added it, since Greenville actually Blender builds their cars, if they added first person, it would probably be a lot more refurbished and just a lot more better in the long run. So guys, the next suggestion I actually have has to do with like vehicles and stuff like that. So this is actually like more exclusive cars. So like in GV4, the only exclusive cars that they've actually had so far, I'm pretty sure, is the Western Motors Kaiju, I think that's how you say it, or it was another car. It was one of the Western Motors cars, and then also the Swag Wagon. But those are the only two that I can actually remember, and I think the old G-Wagon went off sale too. But like the Western Motors car and the G-Wagon don't honestly really count, in my opinion, as like limited cars, because no one really knows that they're going limited. Like I'm talking cars that literally are like get added into the game and then get removed like one day later. As like limited cars, I guess you could say, sort of like what they did with the Swag Wagon, but I wish they did this with a lot more cars. Like, I feel like it would hype up the community a lot more and stuff like that, and also, you know, it would just be really, really good in my opinion, and also give them the opportunity to add some more unique cars, like for example, the R34, and stuff like that, like cars that you wouldn't usually see in the US, because I doubt that they'll ever actually add like an R34 in this game permanently, as it just would be super unrealistic. But except if they added it as like a limited car or something like that, where it'd only be out for like a couple hours or something like that, I think that would be really, really cool, because then like if you didn't get it, then you didn't get it, I guess, you know. So I think that would be a really like cool feature to add. Alright, so the next suggestion I have is a bit of an opinionated one, I guess you could say. So this is actually kind of like buildings that you can actually go inside of. You know, now you may say, well, Shard, you know, you can already go inside of buildings in Greenville. What are you talking about? But I'm talking about like every single building, because as you can see right here, I'm actually positioned quite perfectly here. These are prop buildings. So these are buildings pretty much that just fill up the map. They're basically just filler content, so you can't actually go inside of the building. So if I actually walk up to them right here and try to go inside, you can't actually go inside, and that's because these are prop buildings, so they're basically just there to make the game look more filled up and stuff like that. Now, even though these do make the game look a lot more like lively, I guess you could say, and kind of filled up, I honestly think they're kind of useless, because what's the point of building them, like going through building them and everything, if they don't even have any interiors? Like, I honestly want to start seeing some more buildings in the game that you can actually go inside of, because I'm pretty sure the last building that we actually had that you could actually, like, go inside of was the DMV building, and that was, like, 2 updates ago now, I think, and that was literally 1 building. Like, I want to see more, dude. I want to see more than just, like, 1 building added that you can actually go inside of, you know? Like, I want to see more. Like, I don't, like, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of sick of seeing prop buildings. Like, I'm not trying to bash the GV devs or anything, but, like, they need to add more buildings that you can actually go inside of and actually do stuff inside of, because it would just make the game a lot more realistic, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't even have to, like, it doesn't even have anything to do inside of them, but just, like, to actually have an interior, it would just make it a lot more, like, unique, in my opinion, and a lot more better. And then the last suggestion that we have here, guys, is kind of a bit of an optional one. Like, this one wouldn't really matter if they added it or not, but this is actually AI trains. So for those of you who don't know, like, around the edges of the map, kind of, they do actually have, like, train tracks and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people do actually, like, have actually already suggested this, but this is, like, AI trains, so pretty much trains that go around the map, like, not, like, you can't actually drive them, but basically, like, a robot, or whatever you would call it, kind of drives it around the map, just constantly, over and over again. Now, this is, of course, an optional one. I honestly wouldn't really care if they added this or not, but I just think it would be, like, an extra cool factor to the game, like, having trains that just roam around, sort of like in ERLC, how they have those AI helicopters. Pretty much like something similar to that, but with trains instead. So, yeah, but anyways, that's going to conclude this video, guys. If there are any, like, developers watching this video, I hope this video at least helped you out in some way and gave you some more suggestions and stuff like that. But, yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And, yeah, see you later, guys, and goodbye.